Alright, so what is going on, guys? I have 007 here. Welcome to a different kind of video. I normally post gaming videos etc. on my channel, but this is a video on the Macbook Air 2013. So basically I'm going to run you through the gaming. What's the gaming like? Because I'm a real big gamer and I've got it for school next year. I'm actually starting sixth form, so I've got it to do work on etc. because I'll be doing a lot of work. But I wanted to try the gaming out on it, and I don't think there's enough coverage on gaming for it on YouTube. I mean, you don't have to be an avid gamer to go on it. I mean, if you're like stuck in the airport or you're stuck somewhere and you want to go on a game just for a little bit, I'm going to see how it powers the games and how the Haswell 5000 Intel graphics, the new chipset that's put in, handles it well. It's got a 4GB processor. I haven't upgraded it, so it's the base model. And yeah, I'm going to see how it runs, how well it runs different games. So I've got a list of games. I've got Assassin's Creed 3 to try for you guys. I've got Dead Island Riptide. I've got, trying to think of the games. I've played Sims 3 on it. Works fine on high settings. It's all good. That, you know, Sims 3 is not a big running game, but I'll try and get into the action games. So Assassin's Creed is quite heavy. I've played Farcry 3, and that is one of the new games that's just come out maybe a couple of months ago, but it still requires like the big end graphics to run on high settings. I've got my big machine there. I play all my games on that, so I don't need to worry about that. I don't need to worry about gaming, but I'm going on holiday on the 21st. I'm actually going away for a few days on Saturday. So it'd be nice to just take around, maybe play a few games, etc. I've actually got a brother, and he got one as well, but he was playing Black Ops on it, and he played Black Ops fine. So it's really impressed me, and that's why I wanted to make a video on it. And for purposes of frame rate issues and everything, I maybe be able to install fraps for you guys and show you the frame rates, but I'm not going to record with fraps for the plain reason that it'll bring down the frame rate if I'm recording the gameplay with fraps. And I want to give it a fair advantage on how it runs. So say like it only ran at 25 FPS on a game, which is good for running a game. I mean, I can play a game on that, but if it only ran for 25 FPS and then you've got your fraps recording the gameplay with the processor, trying to run the game and record at the same time, it's going to slow it down, and the FPS is going to be brought down because of the processing power is obviously not high enough to compatible, like go side by side with playing the game and recording at the same time. Bit of a mouthful there, but yeah, I'm going to get straight into it. So if you don't mind me pointing a camera at my MacBook, I'm sure it'll be clear HD footage, but I'm not going to give you the in-game like footage, because I'll give you gameplay footage, but not in-game like fraps kind of footage, because it'll bring down the frame rate, and I want to try and give it a fair advantage on other notebooks and stuff. This is best for portability, the Macbook Air, mainly because it's so thin and light, and it's just great to take around with you. It's one of the thinnest notebooks on the market, if not the thinnest. I mean, it's just come out. It's the new June 2013 model. Yes, so I'm really impressed with it at the moment. I put Boot Camp on it, and this allows me to run Windows games. That's how I'm getting all the gameplay. So if you want to know where to get Boot Camp, I'll put a link in the description for the support. And basically, just download a copy of Windows. You've got a Windows 7 Ultimate Edition or whatever edition you want. Put that into your disk drive. Please bear in mind that the MacBook Air does not come with a disk drive, so I think it's 65 quid extra. I got one extra just so I can install a couple of my games. It works fine. Into the gameplay. What is up, guys? We're back, and this is going to the gaming section of my MacBook gaming. Just let me get the screen in correctly there. I've just got my sorry for the it's a bit not professional, so I don't really film like this. I'd rather film with fraps, but obviously I'm not going to. So if you've got yourself a little Microsoft adapter, you can put that into the side. Any side can do. There's two USB ports on it on the MacBook itself. So just put that in one side without moving the MacBook itself would be nice. Very professional. Once that's connected, you can put your Xbox controller on, connect it like you normally would on the PC. As this is Microsoft Word, it'll work. It works on Mac actually as well, but obviously there aren't as many games to play on Mac. Turn my phone off. Alright, so the first game we'll try is actually one of my favourite games. It's Red Faction Guerrilla. And I've set fraps up so it should record the benchmark as well of the frame rate, so you see me in the background there. So Fraps is in the top right hand corner there, if I can put it in the screen. Just let me figure out how to use my tripod. So Fraps is there. You can see we're getting about 300 frames on this. It'll go back and forth on the menu ones, but maybe if I can turn my tripod around and do it like that, well, that might be easier. Alright, it's on a bit of an angle, but that'll have to do. So we're getting about 48 frames on the main menu, which is good. I've got this, I'll just show you my settings of the first game. So this gives, I've got on the highest resolution, which is 440 by 900. That's the best resolution, because that is what the MacBook Air runs at. So I've got the overall graphics on medium. I've put it on high and it still works, but that's on a lower frame rate. I'll show you that as well. So if I just get into the game, I've actually been playing this for a while, so I'll just load up one of my saves. The speakers are actually underneath the keyboard. They're really good speakers actually, considering you can't see them very well. And on medium, this is running at 20 frames a second. 25, you know, it goes up as soon as it loads up the world. It'll get itself ready. It's running about 25 frames, about 30. It goes up to 30 frames a second, and that is really smooth gameplay for a game, especially when you're blowing things up and everything. So if I just give you some, all I'm doing is using my Xbox controller here, and yeah, I can sit and play this. It works fine. Yeah, you can destroy things like that. I love Red Faction. It's a real good game. So if I just turn that down so you can get a better sound of my voice. So let's go blow these wind turbines up, and I'll show you what the destruction costs on the frame rate, see if it affects it at all. I think it'll stick to around the 20 frames a second rate, which is fine because I can play it at that. It's like the graphics are surprisingly really good on the resolution screen. If I smash one of these pillars down, this will come falling down. Hopefully not on my head. And if you look at the frame rate, it might go down to about 17 frames, but it comes right back up. So there isn't a massive drop in frames when you're blowing things up. I mean, this is a really heavy game on explosions and frame rate costs. If you're blowing everything up, I mean, of course it'll lag a bit if you blow everything up like at once, but it isn't bad. It isn't bad at all, and it just jumps back up to 25 frames, so it's fine. So if I just smash this turbine down again, it's really good. It's really fun, especially when you're blowing up massive structures. Like, I'll go blow this house up and I'll show you, and I'll go on to the next game after this. And I think the next game is going to be Dead Island Riptide, and that is a really good game. The graphics are surprisingly good on that game, but it isn't as open world, so we'll see like the contrast. Maybe we'll get high frames in that. Then this, because you do see a drop in frames, obviously, because you're destroying everything on the screen, and it has a cost in the frame rate. So if I stick for a couple of satchel charges in this room, it's got a bomb in that room, so it'll create a bigger explosion than the media for trying to kill me. Maybe could have done a bit of a better explosion there. But yeah, as you can see, it's playable. It's easily playable. I mean, I could sit and play this and finish the game on 20 frames. It doesn't affect the gameplay for me. So it works fine, and I can just get my handgun and shoot these two. No problem. So this is Red Faction Guerrilla on medium settings and the highest resolution. I mean, I could turn the resolution down and play it on high settings, but I prefer it on the high resolution as it gives us the better quality of using all the screen. And you might be able to hear the fans of my the Mac going, because the fans are turned on. Because right, if I just pause it, when you're playing a game, you probably hear the fans now. The left hand side, which is the, if I just lift my tripod up, that's where the battery is, and this gets really hot. Surprisingly, I mean, I could fry an egg on there. Probably. It gets really hot, and if you're playing a game for like 2 hours, constantly playing it, the battery life, it runs surprisingly well. You might get 3 hours of gameplay out of this, but because of this getting so hot, the battery and the fan is good, but there isn't many ventilation points for the device. So the only problem with it is when it gets too hot, it overheats, and then it restarts, and it's best just to leave it cool down. But that doesn't happen until about 3 hours of solid gameplay in, and by that time your battery's pretty much run down from playing. I mean, if you're not playing games on this and you just want to watch videos and movies and stuff, you get about 10 hours out of it, which is really good. But because you're using all your processing power with playing games, it has a cost on the battery life, and obviously the battery that overheats because it's being used to its full potential. Yes, this is Red Faction. I can quit this now and get on to the next game. Alright guys, so I'm back. Sorry about the dodgy camera angle, but it's the only way I can fit in the full screen. This image was captured by me on my Nikon P510. It's not bad actually, is it? It's got a really nice focus on the bird in the sky there. Yeah, anyway, so next game, Dead Island Riptide. This runs really well as well, considering like... Oh, why are you being a bitch to me now? I've actually downloaded this. Ah, right, never mind. Sorry, I have to run it as administrator. Always forget to do that. It's best to set it on administrator to run it automatically. So this will run now. This game runs really well. I mean, I've had no issues with it. You know, just the obvious issues of the battery on the Mac and with it getting too hot on the fans, etc. But that's not a problem considering how thin the machine is itself. You expect that. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of bulkiness. It's only one slimline battery. I mean, the graphics on the main menu screen are really nice. I don't know if I can get you a better focus on, but if you was playing this in person, they look gorgeous. They're like, and the menu runs 29 frames a second. And if I go to my video settings, these are all set on high. The high settings, yes guys, the high settings. I can play this on the high settings. So that's the resolution again. I don't know why it lets me play it on the high settings. I really don't. This is a lot newer than Red Faction, but I'm only playing Red Faction at medium settings. But at least I can play them. Yeah, I mean, all games are probably playable on this, apart from Witcher 2, which I've heard is not playable because of the low frame rate on that. So as you can see, this is high settings, and I'm running at about 28 frames a second, and that is really impressive. The graphics are real nice. If I can just, sorry, I'm on the prologue and it's really shaky, and I'm on the boat. Yeah, that's just the prologue of the game. I'm not actually on the island yet, so when I do get on the island, the graphics will turn really nice and bright, just like you would see on an island. So if I come up here, I got some guns on the floor. I mean, all I'm using is this. I'd recommend you go pick one up, or a wired controller. They all work really nicely, and most games are able to use the wired controls and everything now. So I'm running this at about 30 frames per second on the highest graphics, which is really impressive. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this game, mainly because I want to play it myself. I haven't really played this that much. I ain't heard the best things about it, but I do like the first one. So I'm just going to shoot these zombies and show you what it's like when I'm actually using my gun, etc. I mean, it does jump down to about 20 frames a second, but I mean, it's still playable. Easily playable. I mean, it doesn't drop at all, really. You know, so it does take a while to kill all the zombies with the guns. But yeah, this is Dead Island Riptide. Sorry I haven't played very much, but I'm just basically showing you the basics of it. So we're on the ship at sea. Yeah, Dead Island Riptide runs at 20 frames per second to 30 frames per second on high settings, easily being able to turn it down. So if I just go finish off this guy, well, someone just died over there. So kill him like that. Yeah, easy to play. So moving on to the next game, which will be Assassin's Creed 3. Alright now guys, we're on Farcry 3, and if I can just run you through the video quality. So I've got this set on high, medium, high. So basically this is the high settings. It goes straight from high up to ultra. It goes to high, very high, and then ultra. We play about ultra at about 9 frames a second, which is very laggy, choppy, which is not playable. But I mean, you could play it, but you'd be really stupid to play it on ultra. I reckon it runs well at high. I mean, this is a new game for me, so let's just start the game up, and I can show you how well it plays the cutscenes, and how well it plays like the actual game itself, and how good it looks on high. With it being on high, I'm expecting it to get about maybe around 20 frames a second, but I mean, this is still playable unless you like really want to play a game on the highest settings. Not on the high settings, but if you really want to play it on the highest frame rate possible, then you're gonna have to drop it down to about medium, maybe a low to get the highest frame rate possible. But if you're happy playing it on a 20 frame rate a second, when it looks nicer, but it's lower on frames. Then play it on high. I mean, it's playable on high. I could sit and finish the full campaign on high. It's fine. But if you don't like it on lower frame rates and you prefer it on high, then just run it on a lower setting. I mean, you could even turn down the resolution, and that will make it run faster. This is on the highest resolution again. I like to play all my games on the highest resolution, so if that means I have to cut the graphics down a bit to ensure that I play it on high resolution, then I will. Like I said, there's been no games that's like popped up and said I'm not able to play this because my graphics are too low, or I can play every single game out now on this computer. Even if it's only at 20 frames a second like this. I mean, even though you could turn it down and get about 50 frames a second on low, it's still playable on a high setting, which is really impressive. Alright, sadly I can't play Far Cry 3 because, as you probably know, that the MacBook Pro, the first one, comes with the 128GB, or you can get the 256GB, but this is the 128GB. And if you get in boot camp, you have to partition a drive, so you can half and half it, or you can give more to boot camp or more to Mac. I gave my Mac 40GB, so it has 40GB free, because Windows takes 20GB. So I didn't actually have enough memory. I do have enough memory to put it on now, but when I was running Far Cry just then, it didn't run well because I've actually got myself a drive set up downstairs. This is over a network drive, and this is where you can just store loads of things. It's got 856GB left. So me and my brother were storing games on it, and we can run games off this, but it runs really slowly, as I've just found out, and the loading times are really bad. So maybe when I get myself a portable hard drive, I can try and play Far Cry again, or I can just install it myself onto my computer. But I think it'd be unfair to record Far Cry 3 gameplay because of the fact that it's not actually installed on my computer. It's installed on a drive downstairs, and I'm basically streaming it over a network. So I'm not going to do that. So Far Cry 3 does run on high if you have it installed on the computer, but I can't show you that because I don't. But if I eventually do, then I'll show you. I think that's all the games I have installed on my computer, unless people want to see Euro Truck Simulator, which is a really good game, but you know, it's not really testing the graphics out, and it's not a really popular game. So in the future, if you've enjoyed this video, I'll get more games out for you. I'll get some more popular ones, like you see Assassin's Creed 3 is on the drive as well. So once I get my portable hard drive, I'm able to copy all my Steam games over to this. Then I'll be able to show you some more gameplay. Other than that, I'll speak to you guys later. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Hello again, guys. Because I didn't get any gameplay of Assassin's Creed or Far Cry 4 yet, I thought I'd get a bit more of Dead Island. It runs really well. Just shows you how well new games will run on this thing, really. So this is at the start, just shooting a few zombies, you know, on the ship. Basically a bit of a tutorial level for you. And bear in mind, this is on high difficulty. Nice full free to kill there. You know, really enjoyable to play. I mean, I'm going to be playing this on when I'm on holiday, etc. And obviously guns won't be a big part in the game. It's more about melee weapons. So don't be too bothered if guns lag out your game, because you won't see many of them in the game, which is fine. Yeah, it is a bit laggy, but I mean, it isn't the best game in the world. I mean, it didn't get rated very high, but I think it's pretty good. It's a fun game, you know, good zombie game, enjoyable. Graphics are really nice. So we can actually buy skills now if we go to our skills points menu. So it's given us some upgrades already, but I don't know if they'll stay when you get off the island. I'm not really sure. I'm not too sure. Just let me buy another upgrade. We'll buy the second one of that so it can give us a bit more damage. yeah, so like I said guys, I'm really impressed with the gameplay on this thing. I mean, definitely enables you to play all the new games. Even though it's a notebook, turn the volume down, even though it's a notebook, it's really good for running games. And it's frozen. I mean, I don't know if that's because I've overheated it or just generally frozen. It might be because it's being overheated or frozen, but just bear in mind that guys, this is not a gaming computer, this is a general all-round computer. So it didn't freeze, it was just loading up my game. I thought it'd frozen, I was going to say. So no, running fine again, I thought I'd frozen. So I'll leave it there. So if you've enjoyed this video again guys, sorry for not being able to play all the best games, but I got some good games there. It gives you good benchmarks for the games that you can run. So if you've enjoyed this video again guys, please give me a thumbs up, and you can recommend me some games to play on it and I will get them out for you guys. Maybe like Bioshock Infinite or something like that. Anyway, I'll speak to you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, see you later.